Hey champs, it's Holiet again, and this time we're bringing you a PvZ build by the most well-rounded Protoss player our race has, Showtime. It's going to be safe, sound, easy to follow, and most importantly, not be a double Stargate Void Ray build. So for those of you who are tired of abusing Void Rays every PvZ and getting Queen Walk because of it, this will definitely be something for you. The opening to this build, as expected from our boy Showtime, is as standard as it gets. In fact, we're not even going for a block on the hatchery, as is rather common now in PvZ. A 14 pylon followed by 16 gateway, scout, 17 gas, 20 nexus, 20 cybercore, 21 gas and 22 pylon. You really can't get a more standard 1 gate expand. Our first unit is the Adept. They will be chrono boosted and our tech building shall be the Stargate. We might not be going for voids, but if you want to be safe and consistent in this matchup, Stargate is always the way to go. With the first Adept sent on its way, Warp Gate is started together with the second Adept that when finished will be sent on its way as well to join with the first one. We then queue up a third Adept. With the Stargate finishing, it's time to start the Oracle, which should be chrono boosted, and with the third Adept finishing, a fourth one will be on the way. Important to note here is that the first Oracle stays at home in case any weird circling timing is on the way. On high level as well, you can't really expect to do anything worthwhile with a single Oracle on the other side of the map. Only really with 2 or even better 3 is it possible to really do something. At 3:36 we finish the wall with the second gateway, and in about 4 minutes we get in position to set up the Nexus, with a pylon in place to keep our adepts safe. In between we make sure that we go up to the 3 oracles, with all of them being chrono boosted at least once. Shortly after the third oracle started, at 4:20 the 2 gases at the natural get started. So far this is the best way to open up with a Stargate without Void Rays, with a quick but safe third and enough oracles to deal with circling 1-buys but also damage potential on the other side. From here on you could go into any tech you feel like, but today we will be talking about Showtime's specific way of playing PvZ right now. Which means, next up will be a Robo? Yes, at about 4:40 Showtime is plopping down the Robo, while also moving out with 4 Adepts and 2 Oracles. Now as you might know, somewhere around 5 to 7 minutes is the dangerous time a Zerg might just do something they might or might not regret later, and go for an all-in. Most likely an all-in of the Queen variety. More than doing damage, the move out is supposed to be a good scouting tool for that, checking the drone count and Queen positioning. A Forge comes down at 4:50 together with a third gateway. When the third finishes, we're getting a battery in the mineral line. Don't ever skip batteries in any matchup. An Immortal is the first unit out of the Robo. +1 is being started, and then we get the next big step, the Robotic Spray 4 Disruptors, which is followed by the final 2 gases at the third base. And finally, the last piece of the puzzle, the Twilight at 6:20 with a gateway count going up to 8 to 10 at about 6:30. Ideally, you wanna set those gateways up in a position where they wall off a critical location a Zerg could attack into. Just like this ramp at the third base, for example. Now, all of these steps are pretty set in stone, as all of these steps make a potential all-in easier to hold if actually fully taken. The idea is that when you're scouting all-in happening, you have the decision to make whether or not you want to take that next step or stay on your current one. For example, if you already built the Forge but nothing else in that build order, you might want to make the decision of plopping down a lot of cannons when you see an all-in coming. As Zerg all-ins, especially of the Queen Pull variety, as we already mentioned, happen between 5 to 7 minutes, scouting is especially important around this time. Which is why Showtime is so adamant about that moving out and that scouting with the oracles. However, Queen Pulls aren't the only thing we have to worry about. In case we see a Spire, which Showtime is doing here, we start building Phoenixes. Making sure we don't spend too much money on the reaction however, but also make sure Mutas don't get out of control. I would recommend getting at least a battery and 1 or 2 cannons per mineral lines, so you are extra safe but constantly scouting to make sure the Mutas don't snowball on you. With our scouting on point and responses done well, we can continue on with our main plan, which is to take that quick 4th base, getting charged and building a nice ground army based around Disruptors, playing defensively and making sure we get a smooth transition into the late game of our choosing. Whether or not you want to go for that defensive Skytor style or hit that sweet Hive timing, this build will allow you to set up for both really well. That shall be it for today's video. For other builds and guides, check out the ESChamp guide playlist and of course ESChamp.com for more StarCraft shows. Also feel free to stop by my personal Twitter where I announce my streams and other beautiful content. Good luck and have fun!
ESChamp Builds is made possible by passionate viewers just like you. To help us level up the scene, go to eschamp.com/join to become a member and get access to the community, previews, and exclusive shows.